Jeez, I'm not sure who calls that racing. Look, Justin Barcia, I lost a lot of respect for the man after this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's talk about if it's right or wrong. I mean, that's really what I want to get into today. I feel like that pass was just straight trash. I mean, let's be honest. As we've seen before, Stewart passed him on the smoothest line possible, made no contact, just right underneath. It looked great. It was as clean as could possibly be. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, ooh, man, Stewart is on one today. Look at that clean pass. And then, like, what? 30 seconds later, Barcia's like, no, let me set you up for a little mayhem. And bam! Just knocks Stewart right off balance and he flies off the bike. Now, let's be completely honest. The crash wasn't as bad as it looked. Stewart got knocked off balance because of the way he got hit, which made it look like it was worse than it really was. However, is that really racing? Let's be completely honest, though. It's not like Malcolm Stewart or Barcia. They're not the only ones that ride a little rough at times. But let me get into what I believe, okay? There's a difference in between the retaliation. Homeboy came up under me. He put a real nasty block pass on me. It knocked me down. Now I'm going to chase him down. I'm going to retaliate. I'm going to take him out, right? We've seen Malcolm Stewart do that many a time. To me, at that point, it's not excusable, but it's more understandable to the situation. Like, hey, you got me last. I'm going to get you back, man. Eye for an eye, whole situation. However, when Barcia did his mess, man, there was absolutely no need for the retaliation. There was absolutely no need for that type of aggression. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand these dudes are racing for big money, right? Big money. But even to me, when you pass like that, and you gotta ask yourself, would the man that I just passed like that do that to me? And will the people look at it the same way as I do? I think there's a balance in there. I think there's a right or wrong. Everybody bumps bars from time to time. Everybody bumps bars. But I think Barcia just took it too far. Not to mention the dude was already in trouble, right? He already had some penalties going on. Like, you stressing it like that now, coming to it now, the 2022 outdoor season, Barcia's handling his business. He thought about running the MXoN Nations on the 250. Like, he pulled himself out of contention for that. Barcia's a skilled rider. He's good at what he does. I just feel like he takes it to the next level because it's the sport, and he knows he's got a big following of people who absolutely love that type of racing. They love to see people bumping bars in the way that they do. But I'm just like, you're a little out of pocket. You just a little out of pocket when you straight T-bone homeboy, like that. That's just a little out of pocket. You had the speed. You had the ability to run up on Malcolm and pass him the same way he passed you, and then you could have started going towards Chase Sexton in that race. I'm just saying, like, you ain't got to hit him like that in order to get to where you want to be. Like, you fast, you're capable. You ain't got to ride that way just to get some oohs and ahs. I mean, you almost got booed off the stage by the end of it. Like, it's just insane. I think Justin Barcia went too far. I'm glad he got penalized. I feel like he didn't get penalized enough personally, and it doesn't matter who it was. It's not because it's Malcolm Stewart. It has nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do whether Malcolm Stewart was bumping bars worse than he was at the end of the day. A rider just don't T-bone another rider like that. I'm just saying. All this really makes you wonder, like, okay, the AMA, right, needs to really sit down and figure out what this contact is, what's legal, what's not legal, what's okay, what's not okay. People need to watch. They just need to have a fair regulation on it at all times. That way, you already know going into the race, if I bump a dude and he flies off the track and they look at that, they can determine, bam, right then and there, I'm in trouble, I get a fine, I lose some points, or I'm Doc Sackins off the race, whatever the case may be. It's just being consistent with whatever the rule is what the AMA really has to do in order to make it all right, I can ride aggressive, I can ride hard, I can bump bars, but I still yet need to watch myself and know that if I hit somebody the wrong way and it looks quite deliberate, they gonna get me. They gonna get me at the end of it. And I don't want that. So it's just one of those things. It's kind of like accountability, man. If you know what you're doing is wrong, you're less likely to do it. Doesn't mean you won't, but you already know the repercussions of it, and you already know you're going to get in trouble for it, which at the end of the day means something's going to be taken away from you. That's all there is to it. Anderson typically tries to use block passes or making riders run out of real estate. To me, that's the good racing. Make the rider run out of real estate. Make him run off the track a little bit. She ain't got a T-bone the boy.